Alright guys, I got to looking around and I seen I'll show you. Seen this little dude right here. And I don't know, some of y'all might know what that is. Some of y'all might not. But that is a tooth setter. And seen that guy and brought back a lot of memories. A lot of had a lot of struggle with that thing in the very beginning. Whenever I was learning how to sharpen and set teeth, and I got the sharpener down, and I've gotten a little better at sharpening now. But that little dude likes to throw a random number at you sometimes. You get everything set in 25 to 30 degrees in between there, and you think you got everything set right, and then you'll come across the tooth, and that tooth will read like 10 degrees or 40. And I know a lot of you might think, well, those teeth, once you get through there on a double setter, will change. And it does change. You'll be going through there, and then the teeth will be the wrong direction. If you don't watch it, you'll push those teeth in the opposite direction. So you kind of got to move it around and get everything setting back right again. And to get the teeth set in the right way again. It just changes probably where they weld the band together. Your pattern changes a little bit. But those random numbers kept throwing me. And I found there are some things that you can do to minimize it. But in my experience, you can't completely take it out. I don't know why, but I have found out that if you keep messing with it, if you've got most of your teeth, if you've got most of your teeth setting right, like between 25 and 30, if you've got most of your teeth hitting the set right and reading right, and you get a couple stray random teeth reading a little bit too much of an angle or a little bit too little of an angle, I have found that you just want to ignore those teeth, in my experience. Because if you go messing around with it, trying to get everything just perfect, most of the time, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but most of the time I start making things a little bit worse. So I've learned to just ignore that. But what I have found to minimize a lot of those random numbers you'll get on it, if you've got everything set mostly right, to minimize a lot of that is to set your teeth first before you sharpen. That way you don't have all those burrs, because those burrs will throw your set out a little bit, and it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much at all. So that's one thing I do. I set my teeth first, and then I sharpen. Most of the burrs running through the mill, running through the logs will knock, most of that will knock those burrs off. Another thing I've started doing is letting my blades, after I set them, I let my blades run through the sharpener like a couple rounds. Which, if you let it run through there twice, in my experience, the blade is a little bit sharper, cuts a little better. probably not enough to really notice a whole lot, but the teeth feel a lot sharper because most of those burrs get knocked off. And if you got your setting a little too low, it might not take off enough metal. It could leave some of those teeth sitting a little bit higher, and some of those teeth sitting a little higher can also throw your numbers off on your set. Maybe they might sit a little too high, a little too low. So letting it run through there a couple times on the sharpener, in my experience, gets everything just a little bit more even, minimizes on your sets a little bit, minimizes those random numbers that you get. But in my experience, you're not going to take all those random numbers out. So what I do is I just ignore those random numbers. I got most of my teeth setting right. A random number comes across, I just ignore it because it doesn't really make a difference once you throw it on the mill. Unless one's sitting way too high of an angle. If you've got one sitting at too high of an angle, it can mark your lumber, but I don't have that happen very often. Most of the time, your biggest issue is just trying to get those teeth set. That way it goes through your log evenly. If you don't have them set at a good enough angle, the blade will deviate in the log easier. But yeah, that's all I got on that. That's one of my biggest struggles starting out, was trying to figure out how to get those teeth set right. It was a pain. I've come to find out all the stuff I sweat, just the small details and stuff, a lot of that, you get it close. Most of it doesn't really matter. Like I'll still try to get it perfect, but you can't get everything perfect, and a lot of that doesn't matter as much as you would think it does. But yeah, that's a lot of what I do to set my teeth now and get them setting more accurate. But you're still not going to take out all those random numbers that you get hit, those random angles you get hit with on the teeth, in my experience. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll be hopefully making another video next week, so keep an eye out for that. I've already got some ideas on some stuff. Might talk about other things that could cause your blade to deviate a little bit, and some things that I've learned to take a lot of that out. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you can see that next video.